Hey, what is going on YouTube? My name is James and welcome back to another video. So I hope you like the new setup. I'm going to try and do stuff like this a bit more. But today we're going to be taking a look at a watch that I should have reviewed a long time ago and have just been slacking a lot. Either slacking or just trying to get the move sorted. So I'm sorry about the echo and audio issues and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to work on that in the next few videos. I'm just going to get this one done and use it as a test video to see how this new platform can work. But just before we do, a quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Oris RTX GT. Absolutely love this watch. It's such a great watch and I hope you guys like it too. But anyway, a bit about Lum-Tec. So it's actually a private US based watchmaking brand. They've been making watches for a little while now and they're starting to get really well known within us watch nerds. Every time I mention Lum-Tec to a fellow watch nerd, they seem to have heard of it now, which is definitely changed within the past year, I'd say. Over 2016, they seem to have really pushed their production forward and really sorted out their marketing, and they've just been going in the right direction. So it's really cool. They're always on Instagram, and I see a lot of other people owning Lum-Tecs now, which is really, really cool. Now, the watch we're going to be looking at today is the bronze Lum-Tec M54. Now, as of all Lum-Tecs, they're all limited edition runs, and this one was limited to 200, and this is piece 154, if I'm not mistaken. Really, really cool watch. It's a big watch, and as you can tell by the aesthetics, it's very much inspired by Panerai. You know, they're not exactly hiding that fact, but I wouldn't say they're directly ripping it off either. I'd say it's a very fair sort of. It's given a lot of courtesy really to Panerai and their design, but it's not totally ripping it off. That's what I'd say. Now, as with my reviews, I'm going to go through the pros of this watch, the cons of this watch, and then overall finish with the conclusion. Now, I do have to say this watch was given to me as a gift from a good friend, Andy, who a lot of you guys are very familiar with on this channel. So the cons that I'm giving are purely based on me trying to give it a fair review. But in terms of the watch, I absolutely love it, and I can't really fault it at all. And it's just such a great watch. But before we do get into that sort of stuff, I'm just going to quickly go over the accessories that come with the watch. If you haven't seen my full unboxing, make sure you check that out because it was a very good video. But as you can see, it comes with the outer box right here, which is labeled Lum-Tec on the front. It also comes with the inner box, which is this wooden box. It's a very, very nice box with a metal plaque that says Lum-Tec. Now, it did come with two straps. It came with a leather strap and a rubber strap. Now I've got it on a different leather strap. This is actually one Andy picked up from WatchGecko. I'll leave a link to that down below if you are interested. It complements it beautifully. The only issue is the buckle that I changed on it doesn't quite fit, so it was a bit of a squeeze. And yeah, that's the design that I've gone with, and I've just kept it on there. I think over the summer I may end up switching it over to the rubber strap, and I might use this as my primary sort of beach watch, going to the beach, going swimming, that sort of stuff. Because I do plan on doing a lot of that this summer as the weather gets better. Now, before we get into the pros of this watch, I just want to go over the basic specs. So we've got a price that retails at $995. Obviously this watch is no longer available if I'm not mistaken, so that price will vary, but that's how much it retails at. It's got a case size of 44mm without the crown, a thickness of 14.3mm, a lug-to-lug dimension of 51mm, and lug size of 24mm, so it's definitely not a small watch. It's a big watch, which for its design works very, very well. The movement it has inside is the Seiko NH35, which is a great movement, hacking, manual winding, all that great stuff. The crystal it uses is sapphire, which is anti-reflective on both sides, and obviously it has a little display case back as well, which is also sapphire. And it's water resistant to an incredible 300 meters, so a very water resistant watch and a very great watch overall. But yeah, let's just jump into the pros. So the first one I'm going to go with is the first thing that most people will notice about this watch. It is a bronze watch. It's a very, very cool bronze as well, because the reason I like bronze is because it's the closest thing to gold, in my opinion. Obviously you got gold plating and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of gold plating because I feel like it's just fake. Do you get what I mean? I know a lot of people disagree with me on that. That's just my take. So bronze, color-wise, is a very nice color. It's very close to gold, and also it just works really, really well. I just love the way it looks, and it's got the heft as well. It's got that sort of feeling of a luxury watch. Which is one thing I absolutely love about the bronze. Now the bronze that this uses is the CU-SN8 bronze, which is composed of copper, tin, phosphorus and iron, and it's an incredibly strong alloy, as a lot of you know with bronze. Now something that bronze does, which I'm sure a lot of you also know, is it patinas. Now the way it patinas is a very cool thing. What happens is the bronze oxidizes, and when it oxidizes it goes this very off color. It can either go into this weird green bubbly thing, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen. or it just naturally ages, which mine is currently doing, and I'll try my best to show how it has aged so far for you guys. Another great pro of this watch is the cushion shape of the case. I find it absolutely beautiful, and just the way it wears for such a large watch, the cushion shape really just makes it wear that little bit easier on smaller wrists. Obviously the size of it is huge, and if you're not a huge guy like myself, it will look very big, but the cushion case just makes it a lot easier on the eyes and a lot easier on the wrist, to be honest. Now this watch has an incredible weight to it. It's very, very heavy, and it just gives it this pure sense of quality. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the weight of a watch definitely reflects its quality, and I know it shouldn't always, but if I pick up a watch and it just feels light as hell, like titanium watches, I just can't help but just feel like I'm going to damage it. It's just this thing that's in my mind. I know it's not always correct, but it's just the way I feel when it comes to these things, and the heft of this watch really does just ring home quality, in my opinion. Another pro, which is also going to be a con, which we'll get onto in a minute, is the size. I think it works very, very well with the design. And just the overall aesthetic of the watch, it being bronze, you know, the size just works really, really well. But I'll get onto why I also think it's a con in a minute. Now, it being 300 meters water resistant as well, it's a great depth, and obviously most people who own these kind of watches don't actually go diving. I don't go diving, I'm a desk diver, so I will wear it and just have that reassurance that if I am to go swimming or diving ever, I have a watch that can handle it. And this being 300 meters definitely can. Obviously, as I said earlier, it's got the reliable Seiko movement in, the NH35, which has hacking, manual winding. It's overall a very, very good movement. It's very accurate, and I've had zero issues with the movement so far. And another great thing as well, it being the Seiko movement, is it's very easily serviced by a lot of people. So you haven't got to worry about having to send it straight back to Lum-Tec or anything like that and waiting. You can just take it to your local watchmaker, and chances are they'll be able to sort it out for you. Another really cool aspect of this watch is that it's a micro brand. It being the size it is and the colour it is with the bronze and all that kind of stuff, you will definitely get a lot of people asking about it. And the great thing is, it's not just like any other watch. It's not an Omega, it's not a Rolex, which obviously still can spark a great conversation, but it's a micro brand, which really separates the watch nerds from the people who are just interested because it looks nice. So you can get into some really, really great conversations with people based on the brand. And I've done it quite a few times. I wore it to work and people ask, and I just get into some great conversations with people who are genuinely interested about watches, and I find that really, really cool. When I wear my Oris, I don't get the same thing. Obviously, if they're watch nerds, then I get it, but the micro brand aspect really draws people in, I've noticed. Another great thing is all the strap choices it comes with the two straps. I think it's great. Not a lot of brands do this, and it giving you the option between a very attractive leather, which has the quick release as well that you can use to sort of swap between straps, and then also the rubber strap, which doesn't have the quick release but has the gap so you can get the tool in there. They're both great straps, both very, very comfortable, and both match the watch perfectly. So great design choices there, and I think it just gives you an overall great experience as well. And now I'm going to get onto something pretty cool. So the name behind Lum-Tec isn't just like a name. It isn't just they put super lumen over on it and called it a day. Which would have been still great, but they've gone that extra step. They use Lum-Tec's proprietary MDV technology, which stands for maximum darkness visibility. What they do is they do a base, and that base is a white base, and they follow it by 6 layers of lume. And it's not just any lume, it's super luminova, which is very expensive stuff. And then they seal it with a clear gloss. So it creates this very, very cool thick lume on the dial, which in Paneroi's world is called the sausage dial, if I'm not mistaken, because they have the sandwich dial and they have the sausage dial. The sausage dial is when the lume sticks out. Now this sticks out very much like a Paneroi, and it has an incredible lume. I'll try and put up some shots for you guys now of what the lume looks like when it's dark. It's incredible just how well the lume works. And I cannot believe it. Like, it will glow all night. And I think Lum-Tec have very much followed their name. They're not just trying to put a cool name and then put some basic lume on. They're really going to the next level and created their own proprietary mix, which is just perfect. Now that's all the pros out the way. Let's go on to the cons, and there's very few. The ones that I find to be a con is the size. As I was saying, it's a very, very large watch. Now I do find it difficult to wear on most occasions, so it comes out very rarely and actually goes on my wrist very rarely. If I'm wearing a t-shirt and some shorts or something, I can imagine wearing this. You know, it's such a cool watch, and it's big and it's bold, and down at the beach, you know, I can imagine wearing it then, or if I'm on holiday, it'd be a great travel watch because I feel like it could survive almost anything. Another con is the crown. I find the crown to be very loose. I don't know if that's just this crown or whether it's just a very large crown with a very thin stem. So it wobbles a fair bit, and also it just doesn't feel that reliable. Now, a thing with the movement is it doesn't have a very distinct wind, and with a crown this big and a watch this big, when you wind it, it feels like nothing's happening. It's very unreassuring, you know, it leaves a lot to be desired. For a watch this big, with a crown this big, I'd like to be able to feel a wind. I don't know whether that's just a movement or something they've done, I'm really not too sure, but it feels non-existent. The wind feels basically non-existent, and it doesn't reassure a lot of quality. Another con, which isn't so much a con because they have a reason for doing it, is that they provide it with a bronze plated buckle rather than a solid bronze buckle. And the reason they do this is because bronze can react very badly to the skin, hence why most bronze, I think all bronze watches come with a stainless steel case back. It just reacts terribly to the skin and can give you like a green sort of, it turns your skin green. So that's why they give you a bronze plated buckle, but I know quite a few watch brands who do bronze and do provide a bronze buckle, and they provide a bronze plated buckle for those who are not, you know, as keen on a bronze buckle. I just think it'd have been very nice for them to give you that option, you know, maybe because it comes with two straps, one that has the bronze buckle and one that has the bronze plated buckle. That works really, really well, because then you can just switch over the buckles depending on which one you want. I just think it'd have been nice to really overall finish off, because you've got to think already, I'll try and show you already, the watch is already patinaed a bit and changed colour, whereas the buckle stayed this sort of same rose gold colour, which is a bit of a shame really. But like I said, it's a very minor con, and the cons so far are very minor. Apart from the crown, like that could be considered a very big con, but I just want you to know it's not to the level where it causes a lot of concern. It's just at the level where it's like a bit unreassuring. So there are the cons out of the way. Again, very few cons and a lot of pros. Overall, this watch is absolutely brilliant, and Andy, thank you so much for giving me this watch. It was a beautiful gift, and I'm so grateful to own a bronze watch. It's just really, really cool. But that's going to cut it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like. And the overall conclusion is Lum-Tec provide great watches at a great affordable price, being the materials they use. They do a lot of titanium watches, and I think the price you're paying, you're getting a lot of watch. So I definitely advise Lum-Tec. I think this watch is absolutely great, and if you can get your hands on this exact one, go for it. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace out.